we're so glad to have the Freedom Singers here, Simon, and we have Jake here, Simon's brother over here, Stephen. And you know what? To really tell their testimony and their story, it takes a long time. And so I'm kind of putting them on the spot. They've written a book about it called The Price of Freedom, and you can get that at their website, which is
freedomsingers.com.
Freedomsingers.com, the entire story. But they're going to try to, in about, maybe 5 minutes, somewhere in there, encapsulate this really phenomenal, interesting, and God-moving story. So I hope you enjoy their testimony. Simon?
If I were to ask you guys, do you believe in miracles? Some of you may say, yeah, some of you may not. Well, we're here today because of a lot of miracles happen. Coming from a communist country, the religious freedom was very limited, and a lot of young people try to escape and look for freedom that you guys have abundantly. My brother escaped into Italy, and he was approved and accepted to stay there. A few years later, I tried to follow his footsteps, and of course I'm saying escape because they had the borders closed and they wouldn't allow us to leave the country freely. And just to make a long story short, I made my way from Romania through Hungary, through Austria, into Italy. It was not a walk in a park. I had to cross borders that they were securely patrolled. I had to cross through the Alps. Only by God's grace and all the miracles that I saw happening firsthand, I'm here alive. I fell over cliffs where a little bush caught my fall right on the edge of the cliff. Now, those moments, I call those miracles. It was a miracle I even found my brother into a large city with thousands of homes and buildings. I didn't speak the language, and one morning, I was very discouraged and hungry and thirsty by that point, being on the road for weeks. I just felt impressed to go and knock to one of the doors. There were a bunch of homes there. I just went to one particular house, and I rang the doorbell, and you can only imagine who opened the door. My brother opened that door. Not because of my ability to choose homes, but because I know God had his hand over me. Once I got into Italy, I was hoping to stay there, but the Italian government, they changed some laws, so I couldn't stay there. In fact, they asked me to leave. And along with a friend of mine, we faced deportation. We had to leave the country. And we paid somebody to smuggle us into a shipping container. Those big metal boxes that you see sometimes, the container was on a train, and the smuggler, that after we paid him, he led us to believe we were going to be placed on a ship the next morning. Now, the next morning after the train with the container with us inside arrived somewhere, of course from inside it's pitch dark, the container was moved and was placed somewhere, and we thought, according with the smuggler, we thought we were on a ship. Well, we were wrong. They placed the container on the dock, and for 4 days, we nearly cooked to death. We even ran out of oxygen. We had to breathe through a juice straw after we made a little hole on the side of the container. But the container was placed on a ship in the bottom part among with probably thousands of others, and they closed the big doors. They put more containers above. So basically, our container ended up being buried inside of the ship in the bottom. Once we chopped the container with a chisel and a hammer, we cut a little hole, like a little 18 by 18 inch hole roughly, and we pushed that metal on the side, and that's when we realized we were on the ship. But we soon ran out of water. Those 4 days in the sun, we used a lot of water. We ran out of water with not knowing where the ship was heading. We knew we had to get some help. So we started looking for some help, and we quickly realized there was no way out from the hull of the ship. It was solidly locked. There were only 2 little hatch doors in the ceiling, but those were solidly locked. Now that's the reality when the reality hit. We couldn't get out, we didn't know where we were going, and we were thirsty. Every hour was passing by, it was becoming more challenging. The days went by, and without a drop of water, your body started to shut down. We were so desperate to get out from that situation. We even went as far as grabbing our hammers, and we started hammering on the side of containers just to make loud noises. We were screaming and yelling from the bottom of our lungs, but that didn't help. Nobody could hear us. Now, as the time went by, our bodies became so weak that we could barely stand up. In fact, we couldn't even make a sound by that point, so we just collapsed down. As we were laying down, we started to really pray. And I remember I was just praying and praying for countless hours. And probably some of you are familiar with that feeling that you just pray and somehow God is not really answering. That's what it felt. I even doubted that maybe God is too busy to answer my prayer. Friends, I prayed for hours and hours until I didn't even know what to say to him anymore. I just lay there in the darkness. Now, it's not a chance that we are here tonight, and it's not a chance that you are listening to this program. God wanted to talk to you through some Romanian guys with a Romanian accent, I guess. But I want to tell you tonight that no matter what the future brings in your life, as long as you know who holds your future, that's the most important thing. As I was laying in there, not even knowing how to say, what to pray, I heard my buddy, my friend that was in the container with me, whispering a few words. I thought he was praying, but I listened more carefully. He was not praying, but he was whispering the words of an old familiar tune. Some of you may recognize this.
Un cânt frumos în inim crește, așa frumos cum altul nu ne spune că Iisus trăiește, că-i ceasul minunat al revenirii Lui. Iubirea Lui astăzi ne zorește spre cântul ascuns în Golgota, privind spre cer, Iisus trăiește și vine iar în străluciri de veșnicii. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He owns the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives, and life is worth the living just because He lives.
Well, it's been our privilege to have the Freedom Singers on here, and I'm here to tell you that He still lives. So thanks for joining us on the Music City Show. You can find out what's coming by following us on the social media. Go to our website. We have so enjoyed having our featured guests, the Freedom Singers. Let them know it. be with you. Tune in next week. We'll be here, same time, same place. Go to the website, see where they're going to be, and check them out. Jim Sheldon, the Positive Cowboy. God bless you.